Don't give up. Fight forever. Don't give up. Fight forever. Don't give up. Fight forever. Fight forever and ever and ever and ever.
Good thing to brag about.
Where's our passion as far as the rest of the business?
Woo! It's coming.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, pimps and hoes. You've missed the first two biggest events of your life, and that's the birth of your mom and your daddy. Don't you dare miss the third biggest events. The hottest shoot interview out there today. Brickhouse Brown tells it all. And you can get this on Highspots.com. But now this is the first edition of my new computer show. And you can check it out on Highspots.tv. Now, the thing that's on my mind now is I wrestled in Philadelphia, Mississippi here a month ago. The first thing people come up to me and go, Brickhouse, why aren't you in the WWE? Well, I'm going to tell you why I'm not in the WWE. Years ago in 1988, 89, and 90, I was competing in the WWE. And I was doing pretty good for myself. I was green. I had been in the business maybe 7 years at the tops. And then one day in Cincinnati, Ohio, I was in the elevator. The vice president at that point in time, Pat Patterson, was in the elevator with me. And he goes, Brickhouse, you used to be a male stripper in college, didn't you? And I go, yes, because they did background checks back then. I said, yes. He said, well, we got a new gimmick for you we've been thinking about. We're going to have you come out like a Mr. Chippendale dancer. You come out, you do your dance, and then you do your tearaway deal, and your wrestling tights is on none of that. You think you can pull that off? And I go, why, hell yeah, definitely. I can most certainly pull that off. He said, well, good. He said, there's only one problem. I go, what's that, Pat? Mr. Patterson? He goes, well, you have to come over to my house for some dress rehearsal. Then he grabbed my ass, and then he said, of course, some undress rehearsal, too. Now, that's the vice president of the WWE, back then the WWF. Now, I couldn't whoop his ass because, hell, how was I going to be mad at him for admiring all of this? But the thing about it is, when that elevator door opened, you'd have thought I had jets shooting out of my ass getting the hell out of that elevator. But it disturbed me so much, I called up Hulk Hogan. I called up Randy Savage. I called up Pedro Morales. I called up Big Cat Ernie Ladd, who was responsible for me having a job in the first place in the WWE. And they all told me the same thing. They said, Brick, that's your call. You're going to have to deal with that. Well, me being the green wrestler that I was at the time, I didn't know what else to do. So I thought about it. I said, So I called up Linda McMahon. I gave some half-ass excuse that I was getting ready to go back to Auburn to get another degree just to get out of my contract. And this is a true story. I was getting ready to sign for $200,000 a year. But that disturbed me so bad that I decided to quit the WWE. And Miss McMahon said to me on the phone, she said, Brickhouse, you did a good job for us, and you would be welcome back here to the WWE at any time. And good luck. And years later, of course, when I tried to reapply myself to go back, the suits and ties that are running the Federation now make it difficult for people like me to ever work for the WWE again. Mainly because you got somebody like Johnny Ace making the career decisions. Johnny Ace can make or break a career. As long as Johnny Ace is running that part of the department of the WWE, I'll never have a career at the WWE. Johnny Ace, how did he get his spot in the WWE? Let's see, what did he ever accomplish? The main thing, the claim to his fame was, oh yeah, he was the flag bearer for the freaking sheep herders. Big deal. What I want to know is, wonder how much he had to bear. I wonder where that flag got stuck so many times, because trust me, I know Butch and Luke. Can you say, how you doing? That's Butcher Luke, the sheep herder. So that's Johnny Ace's main claim to fame. And he thinks I'm an idiot anyway. You know why I say that? Because I was up for the referee deal. Triple H saw me at a show and said, Brickhouse, you know what would be great? If you did the referee deal. We need a referee now. You can help the young guys in the ring when they stall and get lost. You can tell them what to do and make suggestions. He said, and you can ride that for 7, 8 years or longer and still make a living. And I thought about it. I said, well, you know what? That's a good deal. I've held titles. I've been an ass kicker. Got nothing left to prove in this business. So I went to Nashville and I did the tryout. I did 8 matches, and I know I nailed it to the wall. I know I nailed it. So after the whole night was over, Johnny Ace comes up to me and said, how do you think I do? I said, well, I think I nailed it. What is it not to do? You get down for the false finishes, you count, they kick out, and then when the finish come up, you count 1, 2, 3. What was it? I stayed out of the way of the hard camera, did the horseshoe, did everything I was supposed to do. And he goes, well, you need to go back and get some more referee experiences. And I said, you must think I'm a blooming fucking idiot. He said, no, why? I said, because you'd have to be a blooming fucking idiot if you've been in the business 28 fucking years and you can't referee. So you must think I'm an idiot. So, but what had happened was people like Steve Lombardi, Downtown Bruno, Jerry Lawler, they all got in his ear. And those are the people that player hate. Can you say Jerry Lawler, Downtown Bruno, Steve Lombardi? They all sip on haterade when it come to Brickhouse. Sipping on that haterade ain't gonna get you nowhere, cause I'm still Brickhouse Brown. Even if I'm not working for the WWE, I'm still kicking somebody's ass, taking somebody's name all over the country, and then working out with the WWE is not gonna happen for me. Big freaking deal. I'm proud of my career, so you can take that to the bank. Now, I'm gonna tell you something else. One last thing about the WWE. The thing is, back in that time, WWE is a fantastic place to work for. I wish that every guy that was ever a professional wrestler can experience the wonder of working in the WWE. They make you feel like a professional. But on the other hand, when it's time for you to break ship or whatever, they play with your lives. They play with your career. And you have to be have a strong constitution up here if you're going to survive with the WWE. Just take, for instance, which we'll be talking to him on some later shows, the Boogeyman. Well, now I have to say the artist, the wrestler formerly known as the Boogeyman. I'm going to be talking to him on some later shows, but right now I will tell you about the raw deal that he got on some later shows. I'm not going to go into that now, but there's a whole bunch of things that I can tell you about some people that played the game in the WWE and a lot of the people that didn't play the game. Those that played the game became millionaires. Those that didn't play the game dug lint out of their pockets. And I got to say this one thing in closing. Years later, when I was digging lint out my pocket, I'm not going to lie to y'all fans out there, I thought hard and long about, well, I wonder if I can get Pat Patterson number again to see if he still might be interested in that. I ain't going to lie to you. I thought about it plenty of times. But the bottom line is, I didn't do it. I think I'd rather flip a burger in McDonald's than to go that route and try to make money in the wrestling business. So there you have it. Yes, I said it. Tune in and keep it every week. That's right. On Highspot.tv and see what I got to say, because I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to believe it. But yeah, I said it and I meant every word of it. Here's Brickhouse signing off. Check y'all out later. Peace. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, pimps and hoes, to Brickhouse TV. And you can check this out on Highspots.tv. What I want to cover in this edition, but first let me make a comment on the first edition of Brickhouse TV. A lot of people got upset. They were watching about some of the things I said about the WWE. But anything that I tell you on these interviews is documented, and you can get proof that is proof positive that I'm telling the truth. I will not lie. I'm just like the mailman. When I tell you something, I deliver the truth. Now, on this second edition, I want to talk about the world-class territory. Fritz Von Erich, David Von Erich, Kerry Von Erich, you know, they're in Dallas, Texas. Well, I stayed there for 2 years, and the thing about it is, what I want to cover the most is, I was the Texas champion, of course, my first interview, you heard how I was the only Texas heavyweight champion that actually lost the belt while I was in the shower washing my ass. That's right, Bronco Lubitsch came, took the belt out of my bag, and went back and took the belt to Fritz. Then they said that I had lost the belt in some screwed up little town. Never got any film footage on it, so in my mind, I was undefeated. I never lost the Texas heavyweight title. Now, let's move on to something higher than that. We had just been turned baby faces, Iceman King Parson and myself. We had broke away from Skandar's Akbar Devastation Incorporated, and we were geared up to go work against the Von Erichs. And of course, we were all excited about it because we were making good money then, so we knew our pay was going to go up working against the Von Erichs, since they were owners of the territory, and whoever worked with the Von Erichs back then made the top dollar. But in come Skandar Akbar with the deal, I guess Tony, what's the guy named? Tony Adams? Chris Adams and Brian Adidas were gearing up to work against us, and they had to get us over in order to build us up for the Von Erichs. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call up my brother-in-arms, who I spent 4 years with as one of the most devastating tag teams in Japan, Mexico, and world class, and of course Memphis Wrestling. That's my tag team partner, Iceman King Parson. Let me give him a call right now, and we're going to explain to you what happened and why we didn't get the run that we should have got when we were in world class. It's going to take just a few minutes here. Of course, you people that was upset on the first edition that I talked about the WWE, deal with it, live with it. It's what's happening. It's what's going down. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm Brickhouse, baby. Now, let's call Iceman and see what's happening. See if we can get the real lowdown on what went down.
Yeah.
Iceman, my brother, from another mother.
Hey.
What's going on? What's happening with you? Hey, listen up, man. I got all these people on the internet wondering why we didn't get the run that we should have had when we were world class. Why we didn't get the run that we needed to have with the Von Erichs. Now explain to them, man, how we was walking by the office one day and you heard Akbar do what? Can you reiterate that story for me, man?
Yes, sir, dog. What it was, Harold Harris was dating this white chick, and Akbar was sitting out there. We was
Harold Harris, our manager at that point in time.
Akbar was our manager at the time, and he seen the girl sitting out there, and he told one of the other guys, he said, "That's the one that's fucking them niggas."
Okay, I remember. Okay,
yeah.
That's okay. I needed you to refresh my memory. Okay, so it was because Harold Harris was dating this white girl, and Akbar didn't like that. And when he saw the white girl, then he labeled her as a nigger lover.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
okay.
the one fucking them niggas. She was engaged to Harold Harris. They was gonna get married, man. That blew everything out of the water.
Yeah.
Hey man, we're gonna get off the phone, son.
Yeah, because
that's what that was. And you know, I confronted his ass. I went right to him in the office full of people.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, I need to talk to you right now, dog, because you're supposed to be our manager, and you calling everybody a bunch of niggas. So what's up with that? I said, now y'all can step out this office, or y'all can stay here. It don't matter to me, because I don't care who like it and who don't like it.
Right.
But I don't like it.
And I didn't like it.
Gary Young was in there. What's his name? The little booker.
Eric Embry.
Eric Embry was there. Yeah, I went right on. I walked right up to him and told him to stand up. He wouldn't even stand up. You know what I'm saying? I said, just do me a favor and call me a nigga to my face.
I feel you.
I said, and we'll take care of this problem.
Well, you know what?
This nigga here, all of us so-called niggas ain't doing nothing but putting money in your pocket.
Right.
And this is what you think of us, niggas.
Exactly.
I say, from then on, I don't need you to manage me since I'm a nigga. We can do this by ourselves.
Man, you remember that?
Out talk, neither one of us.
Ice, you remember the time? Ice, you remember the time, Gary? You remember the time Reggie B dropped the belt, man, and then the belt just shattered all up with the little fake rubies and diamonds busting off of it? And Jerry Lawler goes, see, that's why you damn niggas don't make any money in the business. You're so damn clumsy. And Reggie B took that shit, man.
Reggie B, man, like I said, he was all right, but Reggie just didn't have that eye of a tiger, man. He had the body for it. He just didn't have it, man. Reggie's a follower. He ain't gonna never be a leader, man. He just never had that attitude.
Well, I'm gonna get ready to talk to him in the next few minutes. But the thing about it is, like I said before, brother, me and you have always been like Siamese twins, just separated at birth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I love you, my brother, and I want to thank you for letting the people know the real deal on why we didn't get the run in world class that we wanted to get. You know what I'm saying? And that we should have had.
That's why.
You know?
Eric Henry the one stopped it.
Eric Henry.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Eric Henry stopped it.
Yeah.
You know? We should have been right there. We left there and went right to
Devon Eriks.
WCW.
Yep.
Remember? I remember.
Yeah. Well,
but I never been the one just kiss nobody's ass. Back then, it ain't who you knew, it's what you knew.
Yeah.
There wasn't no better black tag team out there than Brickhouse Brown and Iceman King Park.
I got to agree with you, and I'm not being prejudiced on the part. The numbers speak for itself because everywhere we went, basically it was capacity crowd. And I'm not just saying that the numbers don't lie.
Standing on only.
Exactly.
Because we sold that place out 3 weeks, 3 Fridays in a row.
Sold it out. You know. But anyway, my brother, I'm gonna have to get off of here. But I love you, man, and I'll be contacting you, and I'm gonna call you after this is over with, and then let you and Michael them talk, okay?
Sound good to me, bro.
All right, then. Love you, man.
Be careful. Handle your business, man.
All right, love you. Bye.
Same here. Bye-bye.
And now you people understand why me and Iceman never got that run that we should have had. And that's not the first time that's happened in the wrestling business. I can name a few times over and over, but I can honestly say that it's never been done to my face. It's always been done behind my back or whatever. I was just on the show here a few months back with Sid Vicious. And Sid Vicious, I was booking this show in Jackson, Mississippi, and Sid Vicious didn't want to go out and do business with one of my boys that was local. He felt like I didn't respect him, so he left out of the dressing room. He goes in the other dressing room where the boys were, and he starts saying things about nigga this, Brickhouse, that motherfucking nigga don't know what he doing. And he didn't know how close me and Rakeisha were. We're like brothers too. So I go to the dressing room, and Rakeisha's sitting there. He pulled me over. He said, Brickhouse, man, Sid Vicious just was in here just talking all that shit, talking about that nigga don't know what he doing, and that nigga don't know this and that. And I say, well, you tell that big marshmallow hubba bubba who ain't a speck of trouble, just like Baton Rouge. And I'm going to tell this people right now, and it's proof documented. You might can pick up an old Mid-South tape and see it. I knocked Sid Vicious to slap the fuck out in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and he bought me a bag of weed the next night as a peace gesture. And I'm telling you the God's honest truth. I knocked him, slapped the fuck out in Baton Rouge. And I looked at Sid Vicious in Jackson, Mississippi, and I said, look, the more things change, the more they stay the same. I know you ain't forgot about what happened in Baton Rouge, so let's not let history repeat itself in Jackson, Mississippi. You got a goddamn problem, man. Don't go to the dressing room next door. Come straight to me with it. And, of course, we talked about it, and Sid Vicious, we was on like a little 3-day loop deal, and he didn't make the other 2 shows. Needless to say, it's okay. Sid is cool. Sid is Sid, and I mean, people knock Sid about certain things. People knock me about certain things, and I personally ain't got nothing against Sid. Sid is cool beans in my opinion, but the bottom line is, Sid do business his way, and I do business my way. But nobody, and I mean nobody, better ever, never call me nigga to my face. At least not a promoter, somebody I'm making money for. You can bet your ass on that. Now, let's get to the lighter side of things. There's one other story I want to tell, and then I'm going to end this. And you'll have to tune in 2 weeks to Highspot.tv to see the rest of the story. But I'm going to tell you about Mick Foley. When Mick Foley first came to the world-class wrestling area, I knew Mick from being in Tennessee at the time. And they brought him into the world-class area. And with me being a good friend of Mick Foley, because at that point in time, nobody wanted to ride around with Mick Foley because Mick Foley, you know, had a reputation of not taking a bath and doing this and that. And I saw nothing, you know, that was his place, and he wanted to walk around like that. That was his freaking business, you know, whatever the case may be. But anyway, he and I were friends, and we still are to this day. But I know that I took him and I introduced him to the Welcome Wagon in world-class area at that time was this girl. I won't use her real name because she's probably married and have kids by now, but we called her Hum Baby. This girl was so good at sucking on a dick, man. I mean to tell you that when she's sucking on your dick, she hummed the national anthem. And I mean to tell you, when she finished that song, humming on your dick, you supposed to see fireworks, hiss, bang, boom, and just do whatever it is that you do. And I'm going to tell you now, on First Accord, you know, she was very talented. So I took Mick Foley over to see Hum Baby. And of course, now the deal is, when I take somebody over there, I only have one stipulation. I gotta watch. You know, I just gotta look. I want to see. So I'm sitting there, and she comes out of the bedroom, and Mick's sitting there. He's all shy and everything. She said, "Oh, Brick." She said, "Is this Cactus Jack?" Because he wasn't Mick Foley then. He was Cactus Jack. I said, "Yeah, this is Cactus Jack." I said, "He's just his first night into the territory, and he needs breaking in." And she said, "Well, he must don't need it in real bad. He still got his pants on." This was the type of trooping soldier that Hum Baby was. She get right to the point, brother. I'm here to tell you. No preliminaries there, baby. No curtain jerkers there. Get right to the main event. Now, the thing about it is, only problem was Cactus Jack was just too shy. So he's sitting there and he's all uncomfortable. He said, "Brick, are you going to leave?" I said, "Am I going to leave? Well, what the fuck did I bring you over for? Just to set you up with a great blowjob and then leave? I got to at least watch. Can I at least watch?" "Well, I mean, I didn't plan on you being here." "Oh, you just want me to just take you, just pick all the fruit off the tree for you, put it in your basket, you load up the bin, and you get paid for it, and I go home with a broke ass back for nothing, huh? That's what you said. Well, I'm going to sit here and watch." And so, you know what this fool do? He pick up some newspaper off the table. He's sitting back on the sofa. She comes over, goes down on her knees. He takes the newspaper, unfolds it, puts it over Hum Baby's head so that she's covered up. Like, I don't know what the fuck she's doing. And I see the newspaper going up and down and up and down. I grab the damn newspaper. "What the fuck are you doing, man?" And snatched the newspaper from him. And he got all shy because little Twinkie went and hid. But that's just one of the just stories that I just had to tell you. And tune in, like I said, in 2 weeks to Highspot.tv, because I got some more juicy stuff for you. Because I'm Brickhouse and I'm giving you more of what you're listening for. Hello.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Fight forever. Don't give up. Fight forever. Don't give up. Fight forever. Fight forever and ever and ever and ever.
Just to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, pimps and hoes, to pick up the Hottest Shoot interview DVD right now. You missed the first two biggest events of your life, and that's the birth of your mom and daddy. Get the Hottest Shoot interview out there right now. I'm telling you, nobody can touch this shit. Now, with that in chance, I want to tell you about the Portland, Oregon area, working for Don Owens. I know it was such a memorable first night when I went to work for Don. You know, it was round about this time, Christmas time. Don Owens would give everybody these big turkeys or hams. And my first night in, he called me in the dressing room when he was paying everybody off. He goes, "Well, Brickhouse," he said, "since this is your first night here, you hadn't drew a damn dime for me." So he said, "I'm not going to reward you with one of these big-ass turkeys or one of these big-ass hams." He said, "Here's what you get." And the fucker gave me a Cornish hen. I mean, he said, and then looked at me and said, "Don't eat it all in one meal, Brickhouse." But it was just a rib. He pulled out a big-ass ham in the end and gave it to me and paid me off. And that was my introduction to Don Owens. But I just heard recently that one of my good buddies, Playboy Buddy Rose, recently passed. And I want to get in this story about Buddy Rose. Buddy was just a character, one of the best workers in the business and one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet. But Buddy, like all of us, had vices. Everybody that I know has a vice of somewhat. Mine wasn't the cocaine, it wasn't weed, it wasn't the pills, the pain pills. My drug of choice was a fine piece of ass. I mean, I just could not get enough of them damn Rena rats. And, you know, they could have their way with me. All they had to do was have on some heels and some lipstick and point to me, and baby, I was there. But the thing about it is, one night, we were sitting around in Buddy Rose's condo. Me, Colonel De Beers, and Buddy Rose, and I guess Brian Adams was there, and two others. And we were doing the cocaine, we were smoking the weed, and of course we had our Rena rats with us. It wouldn't be complete without the Rena rats. So we had all of that. And we're sitting there and everything's going and, you know, moving and grooving. And all of a sudden, the drug dealer that was there supplying it took a big line of cocaine and snorted it. And all of a sudden just dropped on the floor and started going into convulsions. And just blew everybody fucking high. I'm looking at him saying, damn, like, why now? Why the fuck now? You know, girl just getting ready to go down on me, and this motherfucker going into convulsion. So we're all sitting there deciding what should we do. I mean, you know, we've been smoking weed. The reaction was real slow. You know, you think about something, and then 30 minutes later, you get the reaction. You know, that's the way it was at that time. And finally, Buddy Rose go over, and we're thinking he's got a solution to this problem, right? And he does. He goes over, he leans over to the dope dealer who's going into convulsion, still shaking, and he goes, and the drug dealer goes, please, somebody call for help. And Buddy Rose leaned over and goes, we'll call 911 when you tell us where the rest of your stash is. And everybody just broke out fucking laughing. I mean, this guy could have been dead on the damn floor, and Buddy's worrying about the damn stash. But anyway, we got the stash, called 911. The guy went home in the ambulance, and we had the stash, so we were up for about 2 or 3 days after that. But anyway, that's my memories of Buddy Rose. I got some other stuff to tell you, and later on down the line, and some more editions of Brickhouse TV, I'll go over that with you. But now I want to tell you about the real deal in Portland. I hooked up with these Mexicans because at that point in time, I came up, like I said, with this Swedish model named Ingrid. And we had a condo, and we were doing real good. The money was decent in Portland. We made good money, and the trips were short, and we was home every night. So I hooked up with these Mexicans, and I became their collector. If somebody owed some of the Mexicans, owed the Mexican drug dealers money, I would go and collect the damn money, you know. Then I started, you know, selling to some of the boys. And then I started making more money doing the Mexican drug thing than I was actually wrestling. So when people couldn't pay, I would take their vehicles, and this is a true story, I would take their vehicles or whatever I could as collateral. And I was arriving at the matches. Someday you might see me driving a big 4-wheel drive Jeep truck. Next time you might see me driving a Porsche. This is true. And I'm driving a Porsche, and I mean, whatever I could collect that was of value, I took. Now, the thing about it is, I got so spoiled with the money that I was making that I started neglecting the wrestling. So Eugene was on Friday nights. Now, Friday nights in Portland was a big night for me for selling dope. And Friday and Saturday, I'd make a lick. So I weren't interested in going to Eugene to wrestle on Friday. So basically, I would go to Eugene, actually be put on first or second. Yeah, that's one of the few times I actually was curtain jerker, because I wanted to get the hell out of Eugene and get back to Portland and make that money. So I go into Eugene, and I'm late, and Bruce Owen comes up to me and goes, Brickhouse, you know, if you can't be here on time, I would rather you just not come. And I look right at Bruce dead in his face, and I go, Well, you know, Bruce, it really is an inconvenience for me to be here at fucking Eugene. What's happening that I just don't work on Fridays? What about that? Would that suit you? If you said I'm going to be late, then just don't come. I'd rather just don't come, you know. And he looked at me and go, fine. That's the way you have it. We won't book you on Fridays. And little did I know what I had done at that point in time. I was so stupid with power from selling dope that I didn't know that I had just told the fucking promoter's son that I don't give a fuck about Eugene. That's your town. Fuck you. I'm making more money in Portland. I don't want to work in fucking Eugene on Friday, so fuck you. And Steve Dawg pulled me over and said, you just told the promoter's son to go fuck himself and fuck his town, Eugene. I thought about it. I go, yeah, I did I? And before Jack Hart even did that, I did that in Portland, Oregon. Good job, Brickhouse. And needless to say, I didn't work on fucking Friday nights. And I made my $2,000-3,000 on the weekend from selling dope. And all the boys were my customers, from Brian Adams, God bless the dead, Alberto Mondrell, Colonel De Beers, Lynn Denton. I can go on and on and on. Every guy in the territory, C.J. Bergstrom, Mike Winter, every guy in the territory was on dope. Every guy in the territory. But at least it was clean, healthy dope, because the climate in Portland was so good with the rain and the forest that they grew some of the best weed in the business, and you couldn't go wrong with it. So it was kind of a healthy way of getting high. I'm making an excuse for it, but hell, it was wrong when I know it, but what can you do? But anyway, back in Portland, my thing is, Portland was one of the best territories I ever worked. And I can honestly tell you right now, I have some fond memories of some of the arena rats that they had in Portland. And I can tell you some more stories on some other wrestlers. Give me a name. Colonel De Beers. Do people really think that Colonel De Beers was this prejudiced South African wrestler that he portrayed to be? Yeah, damn Skippy he was. Now, the thing about it is, some people can work their characters and live their characters and make you bleed their characters. And some people actually do live their freaking characters. But Colonel De Beer was one of the ones that actually lived his freaking character. But the thing about it is, what he portrayed on television, he was behind the damn scenes. And you heard it from me, Brickhouse, right here on Brickhouse TV. Yeah, I said it, and it's damn true. I ain't Kurt Angle, but it's true. It's damn true. Colonel De Beers was a prejudiced fucking ass, and I'm going to tell anybody right now, I worked a program with him for about 2 months, and the motherfucker would never, ever put me over. At that point in time, I didn't realize it, but if I'd have known what I know today back then, I'd have beat Colonel De Beers a new asshole. But the thing about it is, I was green and didn't know what he was doing, but I never went over. Just think about it, I never went over in a match with that motherfucker. Fuck you, Colonel De Beers. Now, what I want to go on with now is, I covered Buddy Rose. I did Colonel De Beers. Who else was important? Oh, Steve Dawg. Steve Dawg. What can I say about Steve Dawg? The Booker and Lynn Denton, the grappler. Those two guys, they were responsible for me coming into Portland. Because I helped Steve Dawg out in Memphis, Tennessee when he came through, he returned the favor by booking me in Portland, Oregon. And the thing about it is, Steve Dawg was good to go. It was great until I started moving and grooving and getting over and being Brickhouse Brown. And then once I started being Brickhouse Brown and they had seen a black wrestler there in a while, I started getting over. And of course, everybody knows that I'm one of the baddest spitters on the microphone in this business, bar none. And I'm getting over like $1 million, and Billy Jack's there. And matter of fact, Billy Jack put me over when I first came in because I put him over in Memphis, Tennessee, and Billy Jack was one of my better friends. But then Steve Dawg started booking, and I noticed that I went from working on top in the territory to the middle, and then pretty soon I was working in the opening matches with C.W. Bergstrom, Alberto Mondrell, and it just wasn't meaning it. I didn't mean any damn thing on the card. And I talked to Steve one night when we were sitting up in his apartment, and he goes, and we're doing cocaine on the table, and he goes, well, if you tone it goddamn down some Brickhouse, man, and stop doing all that shit, you know, maybe we can do something with you. I go, well, you mean to tell me because I'm doing shit too good, you're not doing anything with me, but if I tone it down and be half-assed, you do something with me. Only in the fucked up world of professional wrestling can you get it like that. Sometimes you can be too good, and when you're too good, if the person working on top, say for instance like Memphis, Tennessee, if you were too good and Lawler saw that you were too good, baby, he was going to get the power of the pencil and write that name down on the early matches and the curtain jerker matches and fade you off. You couldn't be too damn good. So that's why I always turned heel and worked against the top guy, because if I stayed babyface, I would have never made a dime. And that's why when I turned 50, I'm able to collect my retirement in a few months, which is August 11th. So I'm looking forward to that. And say, congratulations, Brickhouse. Yeah. But the thing is, Portland was a very good territory for me. And I made a lot of friends there, and I left there with about $30,000 in cash. You know, maybe most of it from the drug sales, but the fact of the matter is I was the last Pacific Northwest heavyweight champion. I retired with the belt from Portland because then Vince McMahon had managed to shut the territory down by taking the TV contract from Don Owens. So I was the last Pacific Northwest champion. But do the fucking magazines give me the credit? No, not at all. When you see the wrestling magazines with the top 500 deal, and then the title history, they always overlooked that I was the last Pacific Northwest champion. They always looked that I never was beaten for the Texas heavyweight title. They always overlooked the fact that I won the Florida heavyweight title. They always overlooked the fact that I was the Continental heavyweight champion. I have been the most underrated professional wrestler in the business, bar none. And the reason why, like I said, I'm not in WWE, and I reiterate, is because I didn't play the freaking game. The reason why I didn't go to WCW is because of the fact of Ole Anderson in the beginning. And the thing is, Ole Anderson was another prejudiced ass. He was so fucking prejudiced. But one thing about Ole is he admitted it. He wouldn't disguise the fact that he was prejudiced. When they had a discrimination suit against Ole Anderson in the NWA at the time, Ole Anderson went to court, and the judge asked him how he felt about blacks, and he told the judge exactly how he felt. He said, I don't like them, I wouldn't want to use them, and they wouldn't be on my card. The only reason blacks are wrestling on my shows is because black people pay money to buy tickets to see it. That's the only damn reason why black wrestlers are on my shows, period. In the case, I can respect a guy like that because you know what you're dealing with, see? It's like that snake that ate the canary. You know, I have to tell this story where the canary saw the snake on the side of the highway trying to get across the highway, so he figured he'd get some brownie points with the snake and give the snake a ride and lift him up in the air and carry him with all those cars. So when he swooped down and picked the damn snake up and gave him a ride, go over all those cars over that highway and dropped him down on the other side, the snake turned around and started biting him and swallowing him. He goes, why are you doing this to me, Mr. Snake? Didn't I just help you over the highway? And the snake kept swallowing and kept munching and said, you knew I was a fucking snake when you picked me up, didn't you? Same thing about Ole Anderson. You know what you're dealing with. You know he's a fucking snake, so you knew what to deal with. And there is the case where I went in, and this is the only time I've ever done a fucking job on the TV. The only time. Ole Anderson brought me in. I had got mad at Bill Watson, quit the territory and left Mid-South and went into the Atlanta, Georgia area. And I did my first TV taping, and he put me in the ring against Kareem Muhammad, who was Ray Candy at the time, who's dead now. And I did a 5-minute job for Ray Candy. Bill Watts called up and said on the speakerphone, they paged me and said, well, Brickhouse Brown, please pick up the phone. I picked up the phone, and it was Bill Watson. He cursed me anew. You stupid, dumb motherfucker. I spent 4 years building your black ass up, and you let that fucking prick Ole Anderson kill you off in 5 fucking minutes doing a fucking job. He said, you get your fucking money, and you get your black ass on the first thing smoking back to fucking Shreveport, and you better be here. There's a ticket prepaid for your black ass, you stupid motherfucker. Just like that. You know? Even though he was calling me a stupid motherfucker, which I was at that point in time, he showed me that he honestly, truly cared. You know what I'm saying? So that touched my heart a little bit, that he would pick up the phone, call Atlanta, and then talk to me and tell me to give my notice to Ole Anderson. And oh, by the way, he told me once I got my money, tell Ole Anderson to suck my dick. And you think that I didn't? I got my money and I said, Mr. Ole, I said, that's exactly what I called. I said, Mr. Ole, I said, Bill Watts just called and told me I need to be back in Shreveport, so I'm going to need my pay. And he gave me my pay. He said, that was the fastest start and finish date I ever seen in my life, kid. I said, yeah, I know. And he said, oh, by the way, to tell you that you're a dick, and walked off. And that was the last I've seen of Ole Anderson. And Ole Anderson, I guess the way he felt about blacks, I just cemented the fact and made him feel even worse about blacks, because that's when Pez Watley, a few weeks later, beat the living crap out of Ole Anderson in the fucking dressing room because there were no chairs in the dressing room, and Ole needed a place to sit. So he's looking around for a fucking chair, so he decides to fucking, he said, Dusty Rhodes said, why don't you go out there and get your chair and bring it back in? And Ole goes, no, I'll just take the nigger's chair. And went to go take the chair from under Pez, and the rest is fucking history. Pez told Ole Anderson a new asshole up in that dressing room. Nobody stopped it because he got what he fucking deserved. But on behalf, Ole had the power because he had the power of the pencil. So that's why Pistol Pez Watley's career never took off in Atlanta, because of the fact he whooped Ole Anderson's ass in the dressing room. A lot of people don't know that, but now you do. And you heard it on Brickhouse TV, on Highspot.tv. Check it out. And next time, in 2 weeks, I got some more stuff coming up for you. And I will go back to the Portland area. I just have to gather my thoughts on it a little bit, because I want to know if I want to tell you this right now. I'll let you savor the juicy tidbit I got to tell you about me and Steve Dunn and C.W. Bergstrom and Mike Winters, you know, against Mean Mike Miller one night in a strip club. We had a wrestling match in a strip club one night, and how the finish wound up being. I'll tell you that later on some of the shows. Just keep tuning in to Brickhouse TV on Highspot.tv. Peace. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, pimps and hoes? Welcome to another edition of Brickhouse TV, brought to you by Highspots.tv. Now, what I want to get on there, the hottest news wrestling right now besides myself, is the emergence of Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan joining up with TNA. Now, we all know what happened with Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan with WCW. They built up this big magnitude of a powerhouse wrestling show and did real good. And unfortunately, the inmates started running the jailhouse, and down went WCW. Will the same thing happen in TNA? Only time will tell, because I do know this, that Eric Bischoff is a brilliant mind in the wrestling business. And if anybody can get them to be able to compete against the WWE, it's Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan. Now, that means that I might have a chance to get a job there soon, because Hulk Hogan and I are pretty cool. And I just wish I was cool with him like a lot of his other buddies, because he all made them rich. I'm the only one from Florida that Hulk Hogan didn't make a dime for. You didn't make me no money, Hulk. So now's the time. You can make up for that, dog, by giving me a job when you get on with TNA. Listen to me. This is Brickhouse. You from Tampa? I'm from Orlando. Come on with it, brother. Now, the thing is, I really might have a chance with TNA because Dutch Mantell has just recently been released from the TNA behind-the-scenes job roster. So Dutch Mantell was one of the main reasons why I never got a job in the TNA deal, because I walked out on Dutch Mantell years ago when he was a booker in Memphis. Dutch came to me one day and told me he couldn't pay my guarantee. He said, Brickhouse, we can't pay you your guarantee anymore. And I said, okay, fine. When you get the territory built back up, give me a call. He said, what, you leaving? I go, yeah, when you tell me you can't pay my guarantee, that means my services are no longer fucking needed. I'm going to the house, home. And I walked out on him. And he never forgave me for that. But hell, the territory was about to close down. He was the worst booker I've ever had in my entire life. I mean, the storylines were ridiculous. The angles didn't make fucking sense. And the people showed it by not showing up to the fucking matches. So that'll tell you right then how the booker's job is doing it. The people don't come out to the matches, that mean that it sucks. The booking sucks. I mean that they're not believing what they're seeing. So, here, years later, I'm talking to Dutch, and Dutch never let me know that he was pissed off at me about walking out on him. Dutch was smart and clever. Dutch tried to do it the slicky sly way. And Dutch was real good in Puerto Rico. Now, I heard he did have Puerto Rico on fire as a booker. So I'm talking to him on an independent show that I seen him on. And I go, yeah, man, I'm talking to Carlos them right now about going into Puerto Rico, which I was at that point in time, about going into Puerto Rico. And they were going to guarantee me, you know, $1,500 a week and take care of my hotel. And that was a pretty good deal for me going to Puerto Rico at the time for about a year. And Dutch goes, man, let me call and talk to him and I can submit the deal for you and yada, 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 yada. Well, all of a sudden they had been talking to me real good. But then after Dutch got through talking to him, guess what? I didn't make it into Puerto Rico. I wonder what that slick motherfucker told him. Hey, fuck Brickhouse. He walked out on me. You can't depend on him and yada, yada, yada. It had to be something like that because after Dutch talked to Carlos them, I no longer received any calls. They wouldn't even take any of my damn calls. So, Dutch, I might have you to thank for that. I don't know for sure, but if I ever find out and I see your ass on an independent show, I'm going to put my foot up your ass. You hear me, Dutch Mantel? You're not with TNA anymore, so you can't block me from going there. But if I see you on an independent show and I find out you blocked me from going to Puerto Rico, I'm beating your ass. Now, let's get off into something else, okay? The thing about it is, before, Terry Taylor's still there. Terry Taylor's a good friend of mine from the Mid-South area. I don't know if Terry Taylor plays double agent with me or not. I don't know. Sometimes he's for me, sometimes he's against me. I do know that he was going to bring me into WCW once, and then they put the freeze on, and that's when I couldn't, they weren't hiring any more guys. So now the truth will come out. Now that Dutch Mantel is going from TNA, I'm going to call up Terry Taylor and say, okay, what are my chances are? Don't give me none of that motherfucking bullshit about my age as being concerned because you got my era of wrestlers coming in there now, so you can't use that excuse. And I know damn well that I look better than a whole bunch of those motherfuckers, even a bunch of these modern day wrestlers I look better than. So I know right now, with me still being active, I know I should be able to get a job in TNA. And I don't have to be on top. I can be robbing to somebody's Batman. I don't give a fuck. I've had titles. I've been an ass kicker. That shit don't mean anything to me. Only thing that means anything to me is give me my money. Pay me. That's the only thing on my fucking mind. Just pay me. I lay down every motherfucking night and get an endorsement deal with Nike. All you do is see the soles of my fucking feet up in the air. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Pay me. Now, here's something else I want to discuss. You guys got any questions you might want to ask me right now? Oh, by the way, I'm talking to the production crew here. You guys got any questions that might be on your mind?
How do you
Anything?
think Hogan's going to do as a producer, not as a performer in TNA?
I think right now, as a performer, Hulk Hogan, set records. The numbers don't lie. He's one of the greatest. And I think now he's like Jerry Lawler. Once to get out of the business from in front of the cameras, I think behind the scenes, I think he's going to do great. I think he's going to do brilliant. Because now he won't have to concentrate on his own egotism. He can concentrate on somebody else's. So I think he's going to do great. I think Eric Bischoff is going to do good for TNA. I think they will finally get TNA over the hump that they need to have, the credibility that they need to have to be able to compete with Vince. And this might make Vince in turn go back into the hiring frenzy that they did when WCW and WWE were competing head on. Vince would hire guys just to keep them from going to WCW and vice versa. So maybe we might see that again, and I might can pick up and play biscuit and sop up some of this fucking gravy. Maybe. Let's hope and pray. All y'all out there, keep your fingers crossed and pray for me. All I want is a damn job, getting on the payroll and making some of that damn money before it get all gone. Again, you know how WCW went. Phew. I didn't make a dime out of none of that money that they had made, and those guys made some fucking money. So, any other questions?
What about Sting? Sting's down there. Any memories of him or dealings with him? Or when's the last time you saw him?
Only thing I can say about Sting in positive, sure, I remember Sting when him and the Ultimate Warrior were the Blade Runners, and Sting them came through Tennessee. They were like the Road Warriors, green as grass and hard to work because they just didn't know how. The only thing I can say about Sting is he took the ball and he ran with it. I have nothing but the utmost respect for Sting, and I've never had any disparaging stories about him. I don't know anything about Sting except that he's always been respectful toward me and me vice versa with him. Sting deserves what he's got, and I can't be happier for a guy. You know, Sting's one of the good ones. They say good guys, you know, finish last. Not in this case. Steve finished first, and he deserved every penny he's got from it. You know.
Remember any of the stories of when he was with the Blade Runners? You remember?
No, because they didn't last. They didn't last long. Him and Ultimate Warrior, they came through, and none of the guys wanted to work with them. And I guess that is a story because they were hurting people left and right. They were cracking people ribs. They were dislocating people's shoulders because they were so damn strong. They didn't know how to work and be like this. They were like, ugh. And when you work them, they would hurt you. Not intentionally, but they just didn't know how to work. So they would hurt you, and none of the guys wanted to work with them. So they had to wind up leaving the territory. That's the same problem Scott Steiner had when he first came into the Memphis area. None of the guys wanted to work with him because he was so used to doing the amateur wrestling, he would hurt the guys. And Jerry Jarrett goes, we can't get anybody to work with him. I go, I'll work with him. And I promise you, God, this is no lie. I got Scott Steiner over in Memphis because before then I was called the Ebony Prince. I was the manager. Oh yeah, I held every spot in Memphis at that point in time. I was the babyface, the manager, the referee, and the heel. I had all the spots that you could do except for damn promoter. And hey, you know, I'm working on that too, trust me. But anyway, Scott Steiner had a reputation for hurting people, so nobody had ever gotten to me before Scott Steiner did. And I told Jerry Jarrett, I said, hey, I'm managing right now. Nobody's put a hand on me. Let's let Scott gorilla slam me tonight. Let him get to me. And I started a program working him. And when Scott picked me up and gorilla slammed me, the whole crowd popped the nut. They went fucking wild because nobody had ever got to the Ebony Prince before. And we started working the program. And we did good because I was an amateur wrestler and Scott was an amateur wrestler, so I knew how to work with Scott, and it worked out real good, and we drew money with it. And the rest is history. Of course, when he was in the clique and I went to Scott to ask him to help me get a fucking job, he didn't remember me fucking picking him to work with Jerry Jarrett and made him money in Memphis. And I go, Scott, man, go put in a word and help me with it. You know, well, Brickhouse, I can't make no promises here, man. I say, hey, you and your brother over right now, you know, one good job deserves another. You know how this business works. Somebody in the clique suggests you hire somebody else, they're going to do it, Scott. But, lo and behold, you see I never got the shot with WCW. So thank you, Scott. Thanks a lot, homie. You know, but the thing is, I have nothing to say about that except for the fact that, why not Scott? Jeff Jarrett did the same thing. I knew Jeff from when he first broke into the business. Jeff came in a skinny string bean of a freaking wrestler, but always had a natural talent for working. And the thing is, I made money with Jeff. I worked in programs with Jeff. But when I go to Jeff to get a fucking job at TNA, the first thing Jeff tells me is, Brick, we need to see a fucking tape of your work. And I go, what? A fucking tape of my work? You got to be kidding me, Jeff. Are you not forgetting I'm the one who helped work and train your motherfucking ass so you can go to WCW and make the fucking money that you made in WWE? Did you forget that? That I'm the one that fucking goddamn was in the ring with you before anybody knew who Jeff Jarrett were and help you learn and mold your character today? You forgot all that shit, but I got to bring a fucking tape? Man, fuck this shit. And that's what I did. Fuck it. You know, and to this day, now, I don't know why Jeff didn't hire me because I never would figure that a Jarrett would have a promotion and I would be working for him. As much money as I made his dad, you would figure that I would be a shoe-in to work with Jeff. But that hadn't came to happen yet. I don't know if me and Jeff fell out somewhere along the line. I forgot and maybe fucked one of his girls. I don't know. That's all a possible chance, because, you know, I was a real for true poon hound back then, and I mean, everybody was fair game. I didn't give a shit. You know, pussy needed a friend, I petted it. That's the bottom line. Now, the thing is, maybe somewhere along the line, I know I got Jeff his first piece of black pussy. I told everybody that on the first DVD. So he should, instead of being pissed off at me, he should be thankful for it and give me a fucking receipt for getting him hooked up with some fucking black pussy. But do I get any thanks for it? Hell no. Send me a fucking tape. You got to be fucking kidding me. A fucking tape. Man, now that's all I'm going to say on that. But the thing is, Jeff created a territory. He created a promotion, and look at them now. They started out as $10 a week on a pay-per-view deal every Wednesday night. And now he's coming up. They got action figures and video games going on. You go, boy. You was a real go-getter. You go, boy. But just in case, I got that damn tape if you still want to see it right now. Okay, man? So just send me an address or whatever. I can send it to make sure you get in your hand. I got tapes. I got buku damn tapes. If that's what you need to see, homie, I just want a motherfucking job. That's all. Peace out, Jeff. Now, ain't no more questions y'all want to get into now? You know, did we cover the thing about, which I never had any stories on Kurt Angle, but everybody knows that, you know, Jeff is fucking his ex-wife, and that's why Jeff can't show up at the fucking matches. We all know that. But in behalf, Kurt Angle, you know, got that jungle fever too, because Kurt Angle was fucking this black chick. I don't know which one he was fucking, but we all heard about how he was stalking her and then got caught dirty with the steroids and everything. I don't know. You know what they say, once you go black, you never go back. So maybe that might be true in Kurt Angle's case. Only he can tell you, you know. I don't know. I don't discriminate. Pussy is pussy to me. It's all pink when you open it up, you know. So, now, is there any other questions that you would like to go through?
Well, this is not about wrestling, but you seem to be a pussy expert, right?
Pretty much.
We talked about Norwegian pussy, black pussy, white pussy. There's got to be a difference. For those of us that haven't had the full game.
Norwegian pussy, Swedish pussy, black pussy. Well, the only thing I know is, brother, to be bluntly honest with you and brutally honest with you, pussy is vastly overrated. Because anything that get the same fucking results that a glob of Vaseline in my motherfucking hand will do is purely fucking overrated. Don't you agree? Think of the fucking money that I could have saved by getting a glob of Vaseline, putting on my fucking hand, looking at Missy ass bent over on a fucking picture, yanking the dang, and be done and save myself hundreds of motherfucking dollars. Who'd have thunk? They always say, you know, damn, if I know back then what I know now, I'd be a motherfucking millionaire. But with Brickhouse, this is the true case. That's why Bill Watson, Ernie Ladd told me, said, Brick, you'll be a rich motherfucker if you got your brains out your fucking testicles. And this may be true. Because I've laid up in hotel room with me and George Wells and knowing we had to get to the airport to go catch a flight to Houston. But I had a girl sucking on my dick so motherfucking good, I said to myself, fuck Houston. Shit. What the hell I want to be in fucking Houston when I got everything I need right here, right now. So we didn't go to Houston. We had a double shot the next day. Lafayette, Louisiana, and I forget what other town we had that night. But we go to Lafayette, and Grizzly Smith, Jake the Snake Dad. Hold on just a minute while I take this interrupted call right here. Hold on just a minute. Might be one of my guest partners. Hello.
Yes, I'm trying to get in touch with Miss Zelda.
Excuse me, honey, but you just interrupt one of the hottest topics, Brickhouse TV interviews. You'll have to call Miss Zelda back later. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina right now, and I have her phone. So would you please call her back?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You see the command and the respect I get. This lady didn't even know Brickhouse from dick shit, but it's just the sound of my voice. That's why I got all the pussy. Now, I guarantee you, if I would have said, baby, what you doing tonight? About an hour or two later from now, if I was still in Jackson, Mississippi, I'd have her legs up behind her fucking earlobes. Now, what were we talking about before we were so rudely interrupted?
I think we were talking about pussy.
Okay, the difference in pussy. And I told you pussy was overrated. I answered your question. It's overrated because anytime you can get a glob of Vaseline and put it in your hand and look at a picture, say Mr. Hyatt or one of those other girls. My favorite is fucking the one that comes out. with the balloon bozo pants on in WWE. The little thick short one. Her name starts with the M.
Mickey James?
Mickey James. That's my favorite. Yes, sir. Mickey James and Melina. Now, we all got to admit, Melina got the baddest fucking interest in the wrestling business, doesn't she? Every time she does that split, now tell the truth, which one of y'all don't think, God, that pussy motherfucking goddamn just stretched, just wide open? Who don't think about that? When you see her do that split, you don't think about nothing but her pussy, do you? That's all. Just, man, the possibilities of the position I can get that bitch in. But anyway, pussy's overrated. And the bottom line is, Grizzly Smith was standing at the door at the Lafayette Coliseum when we went to Lafayette after we missed Houston because this girl was sucking and riding my dick so good I didn't want to go to the airport. I said, fuck it, I'm not going to Houston. And George Well looked over at me. We tag teamed and switched partners, and he started fucking the one I was with, and I took care of the one he was with, and yada, 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 yada. We show up the next day. Grizzly Smith said, well, the hat wants you to know. The hat was Bill Watts' name that we gave him because he used to wear this big 10-gallon cowboy fucking hat, and we called him the hat. He said the hat said that you took one from him last night, so he's taking one from you today. He don't need y'all today, and he'll see you tomorrow. Matter of fact, he's taking one from you tomorrow, too. Don't need you tomorrow either in Oklahoma City. And, oh, by the way, you're fined $500 each show. $500, goddamn. But that was the case. He said, yep, you took one from him, so he's taking two from you. And that was Bill Watts' deal. He was a complete disciplinarian. He would make so much demands on you. I got fined one time $100 for having dead batteries in my motherfucking tape box. You know, because back then they used to put the microphone up to the damn thing, and then you play the music, and you go down to the ring, and yada, yada, yada. And it so happened that I just did get any new batteries for my tape box, and my music started dragging on TV. Yeah. And I'm waiting upstairs after my match is over with, and Bill Watts comes up there with that fucking cigar in his mouth and goes, do I not pay you a lot of fucking money? I said, yes, you pay very handsomely, sir. He said, well, why can't you buy any fucking batteries? Do they cost too fucking much for your fucking tax bracket? I go, no, sir, you pay me very handsomely, sir. Then why don't you have some fucking batteries? You're fined $100 for having dead batteries. Now, wasn't that the most expensive damn fucking dead battery pack that you could get cost on a fine, man? I'm trying to tell you, that's a true story. I got fined $100 for having dead batteries. And I got fined one time because of the fact that my car broke down on the way to the TV station, and this police officer saw me, and it was just so happened it was rush hour traffic going to the Irishman Neal Boys Club. I said, man, you got to get me there. You got to get me there. Bill Watts going to find me. You got to get me there. And he said, well, you want me to turn the siren on and then get through this car? I said, please do, man. And I'm riding in the back seat of the police car, and he's got this damn siren going, and we're zooming through the fucking traffic, and finally we get to the Irishman Neal Boys Club, right? And I'm thinking, surely this is an ironclad motherfucking excuse. Police officer bringing me to the fucking arenas and yada, yada, yada. There's no way Bill Watts can fucking say anything on this. Wrong! That motherfucker was waiting at the fucking door, man, and when we pulled up and I got out the car with the fucking police officer, that's just fucking great. Here we go right now. One of my top motherfucking stars. Look at this shit right here. But do Bill Watts see the glass half full? No, he seen it half empty. All he saw was a police officer bringing Brickhouse to the fucking match, and he figured, talk about stereotyping, that I'd rob somebody, knock somebody in the motherfucking head, maybe got caught with some drugs, some underhanded shit that black people get caught with riding in the back of police cars. Not even once thinking that the man just tried to get me to the match. The first thing out of his mouth, you just cost yourself $500 fucking dollars, ruining my goddamn TV. What the hell trouble you done got into now? What am I gonna have to pay for now to get you out of motherfucking trouble? You know, you just cost yourself $500. I don't give a shit. Let him take him back to jail. Let him spend the night in fucking jail. I don't need him here. He missed my fucking TV. Just going on and on and on and on. And finally the police officer said, sir, his car broke down, and I gave him a ride, and I turned the siren on to get him here in time, and you're going to cost him $500 for that. Bill Watts, not being one to be fucking, outdone of say, well, okay, I was wrong. Bill Watts looked at the police officer and said, how much do you make, son? Do you make enough money, son? He goes, well, I do okay. He said, well, I tell you what, If you want to drive Brickhouse around, he said, you just cost yourself $500 fucking because you didn't get him here on time and you turned on the siren and still didn't get him here on time. You're fined $500 fucking. That's a true fucking story. Leave it to Bill Watts to come up with something instead of saying, well, okay, I was wrong. He tried to find the fucking cop $500. These are just some of the little comical tidbits that I was sharing with y'all. But on a serious note, what I want to talk about now with the thing about Bill Watts is, a lot of people don't know it, but there was this diva back then. Her name was Dark Journey. Dark Journey was drop dead gorgeous, beautiful black girl, and first brought into the wrestling business by Dick Slater. Okay, here's the promoter deal, and I've always seen this work in the professional wrestling business. Enters a guy with a hot-looking chick. Promoters see the fucking girl, get rid of the motherfucking guy, keep the fucking girl, starts fucking the fucking girl. Happens every fucking time, and you would think that the wrestlers would get it in their head by now. Don't bring your bitch into the wrestling business, because if you do, the boys gonna get her. Just as sure as you fucking goddamn lace up your boots, the boys gonna have that ass and they gonna wax that ass. I'm telling you right now. Don't bring your girl into the business. Bring one in that you don't give a fuck about, but don't bring your main honey into the business, because the boys gonna get her. I'm telling you, because if the boys don't get her, then the promoters fucking will. But your girl will get got if you bring in the wrestling business. And that's what happened with Dick Slater and Dark Journey. They fucking wrote Dick Slater ass off, fired him, and kept the fucking girl. Bill Watts started fucking Dark Journey. And that was the end of Bill Watts' marriage. And that's what happened with Bill Watts. Got divorced because Bill Watts got the jungle fever. He got jungle fever. And that's what happened with Bill Watts' marriage. Dark Journey, cut it all down, you know. So even the best can happen. This is the same guy that told me, how ironic, Brickhouse, you be a rich man if you got your brains at your fucking testicles. Bill Watts, hello? Damn. You think you would know by now. You the one paying me. But then again, all the millions that you fucking took, I guess it doesn't make any difference to you. You had it to lose. So what? Like I said, everybody got their own vices. Some people had drugs. Some people had gambling. Mine always been a fine piece of ass. I'm guilty. Now, what else would we want to cover on this?
Why don't you wrap up this week of
Okay, in 2 weeks coming up, Brickhouse TV, I'm going to have some more stuff for you. This is Brickhouse signing off on this edition. I'm giving you more of what you're listening for, and let me just lay, because I know you want to hear it. I know you want one of those world-famous rhymes that I used to do on my interviews, and I'm going to give it to you. Are you ready? I'm going to wind it up with this. I'm good when I got a partner, but I'm great when I go at it alone. I'm the baddest mama jamma in this business when it comes to spitting on the microphone. I'm going to tell you something else right now. I'll give you each more a little lesson on how to spit them interviews out and sell some tickets every 2 weeks when you tune in to Brickhouse TV. Hey, just like I said about Jerry Lawler, he ain't no thorn in my side. Brickhouse got way too many important things to worry about, like keeping my bitches satisfied. Peace.
Don't give up. Fight forever. Don't give up. Fight forever. Don't give up. Fight forever. Fight forever and ever and ever and ever.
Welcome to another edition of Brickhouse TV, brought to you by Highspots.tv. Now, this time I'm going to dedicate this edition to the first ladies of wrestling, and I'm talking about people like Missy Hyatt, Dark Journey, Miss Jackie, and Baby Doll, and who was the other fine one that was up in Sunny? Oh my God, Sunny, man. Many days if I used that glob of Vaseline in my hand thinking about Sunny ass. I'm going to tell you something right now. I saw Sunny in Philadelphia here months back, and Sunny's still top dollar to me. And if I was running, I wanted to put on a few shows just to bring her ass in, just to beg her for a piece of that ass. I really thought about that, and, and probably would get it too, if I can get her down to Mississippi. But anyway, let's see. Let's start off with Missy Hyatt. Missy Hyatt had a masterful program when she first got into the business. Missy Hyatt started out with Hollywood John Tatum. Went as far with John Tatum as John Tatum could take her. Missy Hyatt had her sights set on higher and better things. And like I said, one day I was going out to my car to get something out of the car, and I saw this damn van, and the van was like rocking back and forth. And I walked over and peeked into the fucking window, and I saw Hacksaw Butch Reed had Missy Hyatt's legs bent way up behind her motherfucking earlobes, just like he was on her, just beating, just like I felt I wanted to make a babyface save and tag him out and come in and fucking make a save. He was pounding on her ass so hard. And I sat right there because I like to watch, and that was a good damn free show. All I needed was some fucking popcorn. But anyway, I'm going to tell you something right now. Missy Hyatt is not overrated. You can see why she got what she wanted when she wanted it, because after she got, she see Butch wasn't going to take her any damn way, so that was short-lived. So next she hooked up with Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Get Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert to go further she can go. She's in WCW now. And then comes in the guy that plays on the fucking Wonder Years, the little short fucking actor that she's... Yeah, Jason Hervey. She fucking put a piece of pussy on him. He get pussy whooped. Something that the wrestlers are used to. This motherfucker take it and want to build a fence around it now, so nobody else can't get to Missy. He moves her in with her for 2 years, and now Missy's gone Hollywood. Now the pussy's too good for the wrestlers to get now, because now she's been with the damn actor from the Wonder Years, so another wrestler never be able to tap that ass. Thanking Jason Hervey for ruining a good piece of ass. Thank you very much, you motherfucker. Now, so Missy Hyatt had a plan and she stuck with it, and congratulations to her. I mean, I'm pretty sure she don't need any money right now. I've always heard though, I've always said, if I was a bitch and I had a pussy, I would never be broke. Because you better bet your ass I wouldn't let nobody wax this ass for nothing. You gonna pay some bills or something, boy. You gonna give me something out of the deal. You just ain't gonna give me no wet ass for nothing. So I don't blame her. I ain't mad at no bitches in the business that fuck their way to the top. Because if I had a pussy and I can put it on somebody that had a promotion and can sign me to a contract, you better bet your ass it'd be, come get it, daddy. But the bottom line is, let's move on. Now, who else do we have? I told you about Dark Journey on the last edition. She brought down Bill Watts. You know what? No matter what, no other promotion could bring him down. Nobody else can come in and take over his territory. But what did it? A fine piece of ass. Dark Journey. And I ain't mad at Bill Watts, because if I had the money, I think I would have bought a piece of that bitch to myself, because she was fine as... Ooh, I'm telling you right now. So, Dark Journey, I covered that in my last issue. Now, who else do we have? Miss Jackie. So, you want to go on Miss Jackie, huh? Miss Jackie. One of the most talented female wrestlers around. I never really got a chance to really shine when she was in the WWE because of her dialect, the way she spoke on the TV. She sounded country. She was country as turnip greens, but just to look at her, you wouldn't give a fuck. It was like watching The Nanny. You don't give a damn about Fran Drescher's voice with that whining. All you looking at is that motherfucking ass. As a matter of fact, that's another I fantasize with the glob of Vaseline, The Nanny. Just wah, wah, with that whiny ass voice. I could do some things. But I want to tell y'all about this lady wrestler that came through Florida named Lady Maxine. Lady Maxine was 6 feet and legitimately 220 pounds. Thick. She was thick like Beyonce, but Beyonce was even thought of. Lady Maxine was built just like that. but the motherfucker had a Mr. T motherfucking mohawk haircut. And God, that turned me on. I used to look at Lady Maxine at the matches, man, and secretly I'd run to the damn bathroom real quick and sit in the stall and get me a little quick one right quick, just thinking about her ass while she was fresh in my memory, and go back out there and look at her again, man, and that bitch just don't know. I just had your motherfucking ass and you don't even know it. You know? And I used to imagine pitching her bent over, slapping her up upside that fucking Mohican haircut. Pow, pow, not on her ass, but upside that fucking head. Pow, pow. You know, that was just one of my fantasies. Y'all don't mind me. I get stupid sometimes. But this is Brickhouse TV. I'm allowed to do that. It's my show. So I can get stupid when I want to get stupid. Now then, y'all looking at this right now, tell the truth. If I was on WWE commentary or TNA commentary, y'all know the motherfucking ratings would be sky fucking high, because I keep y'all ass entertained with some of them boring ass motherfucking matches y'all see on Monday nights and on Thursday nights. But listening to somebody like me critique the motherfucking matches, you wouldn't even give a shit that the TV matches was boring as hell. You say, that motherfucking Brickhouse a fool. Wonder what he gonna say next, and that's why your ass will tune in. So you ought to call up them motherfuckers and you say, hey, put Brickhouse on that motherfucker, because he the truth. All right? Do that. Now, let's cover some more bitches. Who else?
Baby doll.
Baby doll? Oh, my God. Baby doll. That's the name you dug out the archives. Shit, baby doll. She got to be old as dirt right now, isn't she? Let's see. What can I think of on Baby Doll? Baby Doll must be was one of the good ones, because I have no dirt on Baby Doll. Anything I can tell you on Baby Doll was that, hell, Baby Doll fucked good, but hell, the worst piece of pussy I had was pretty damn good. So, there's nothing I can say on Baby Doll. Baby Doll is one of the clean ones that got away. You know, one of the clean ones that got away. Give me another name.
Did you ever run into Woman, Kevin Sullivan's ex-wife?
Well, woman was from Orlando, Florida, and God bless the dead. Nancy, used to come to the matches, and believe it or not, the boys used to draw straws in the back room to see who would have the opportunity to go out, to see who could pick Nancy up, to see who would be the first one to put dick in her. And lo and behold, we all used to draw straws every fucking week. And for some reason, I don't know how, but I think Kevin Sullivan was cheating, because he won every fucking time. He would be the one to go out, to go talk to her. And I think he cheated some kind. I never figured out how he cheated, but nobody wins drawing straws every fucking week. Every Sunday we wrestle in Orlando, and Kevin Sullivan would win and get to go out. That meant that nobody else could go approach her about fucking her. Kevin Sullivan had the exclusive right. That's why we picked the straws in the back. To this day, I want to figure out how that little motherfucker did that. But anyway, he wound up finally having to get Nancy, and be truthful, she was married at the time then, and hell, once Kevin Sullivan, and we knew she had only been coming to the matches for a few short times, so whichever wrestler got to her first was going to have a keeper, because she was like a virgin. She wasn't a groupie. She just was coming to the matches. She was interested in the wrestling shows. And once Kevin Sullivan started talking to her, man, she got hooked, line and sinker into it, and she divorced her husband for Kevin Sullivan. Boy, I wonder how that turnaround is fair play. Didn't she leave Kevin Sullivan for Chris Benoit? I never knew the full story on that, but didn't she leave? This woman set up a pattern then, didn't she? She left her first husband for Kevin Sullivan and left Kevin Sullivan for Chris Benoit. And from what I understand, was getting ready to leave Chris Benoit. So, damn, wonder who was next. Shit. That's one of them things that we'll never know. God bless the dead. But that's my take on Nancy. And all I can say is, pussy must have been awesome. Must have been good. To have motherfuckers act like they did over it must have been, that pussy make you go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But anyway, let's give me another name.
Well, who was didn't Robert Fuller have a valet, Samantha Payne, or who was that?
Robert Fuller had a valet.
Yeah, when you were working a program with her.
Sylvia.
Yeah, Sylvia. Memories on her at all?
Oh, yeah. Do I? Wow, did you bring up one that I had some memories of. Sylvia. Sylvia was an ex-cheerleader. She was doing that Melina split way back in the day. And her and Robert, they had a really, really bad cocaine problem. I wouldn't say really bad. I'd say just about as much cocaine problem as every other wrestler in the wrestling business had. But anyway, we were all living in Nashville, and I had this roommate named Peaches. And Peaches was the dealer that served all the wrestlers. He was a big wannabe wrestler, but he never could make it in the business. So he figured he couldn't make it wrestling, so he'd make money off the wrestlers. So he started dealing drugs to the wrestlers. Well, lo and behold, he let Robert get so much into debt, because Robert was in with Jeff Jarrett at the time and Jarrett. And Peaches thought that Robert would be able to help him in the wrestling business, so he would let Robert get credit on the dope. Robert had done got up to like about $1,000 worth of debt on cocaine with Peaches. And Evansville used to run every Wednesday night. And nobody wanted to go to Evansville, but to be able to make us go to Evansville, that's what Jarrett decided to pay us on Wednesday night, so we'd make Evansville. Because if it wasn't for getting our pay on Wednesday night, fuck Evansville. Because Evansville drew like about 100 people every Wednesday fucking night. Same old dead motherfuckers in there. No matter what angles, if they was hot in Memphis and Louisville, it didn't give a fuck. Evansville still was 100 motherfucking people. They just wasn't having it. They wasn't coming. So, one night, Sylvia told fucking Robert that she wasn't going to go to Evansville. She wasn't feeling pretty good, to make the trip. And I decided that I would not go to Evansville. I said, fuck it, I'll get my check tomorrow night. And fuck Evansville. I ain't making that 2-hour drive for fucking shit. Fuck Evansville. So I leave to go get me something to eat. A few hours later, I came back to the apartment because me and Peaches shared an apartment. I come back to the fucking apartment. Peaches' door is open, cracked just a little bit. And I look through there again. My little fetish come in. I like to watch. I can't help myself. I'm going to watch. If there's some action to be seen, I'm going to watch. Hey, I got a porno collection. Well, never mind that. But anyway, the door was cracked. So I go by and I couldn't resist it because all I heard was somebody going, and I looked through the damn crack. And now you got to remember now, Peaches was like 6'6", 340 pounds. Big, Bearcat right huggy bad looking motherfucker. So I look in the fucking crack of the door and I see Peaches on top of this fucking little white woman, and he's got her legs bent all the way fucking back to where her fucking heels of her feet are touching the fucking headboards. I ain't bullshitting you. He had them bent that far back where her heels were touching the fucking headboards, and he's like plowing into this woman like this. And she was going, and I fucking looked, I said, my God, how in the hell is she taking this motherfucking pounding? And so I'm sitting up in the living room, and by that time I got me what I brought to eat back, and I'm sitting there listening to the fucking deal, enjoying myself eating, and damn, I get up and look in a little, get my little visual picture of it, and go back and eat a little bit more. And finally, I still didn't know it was Sylvia. So I'm sitting there, and after a while I finish. Out come Peaches, all this sweat dripping down him, and then out comes motherfucking Sylvia. She see me, I see her, and we like, cause me and Robert was like this, still is, you know what I'm saying? I see fucking Sylvia, and I got, oh my God. And she got, Brick. She said, oh, please, you're not going to say anything to Robert. Please don't say anything to Robert. She said, we owe Peaches so much fucking money. There's no way we can pay him back and still keep up with our other bills. Please, I just wanted to pay off this debt. And I told Peaches if I spent some time with him, he'd wipe off the debt and tell Robert that he don't owe us anything and yada, 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 yada. She said, it need be Brickhouse. I will take care of you. You just keep your mouth closed. And I'm looking at this fine motherfucker, and I'm thinking about, God, any other time, I would take that fucking opportunity to. But here's a guy that have always, whenever I called him up, him and Ron, and asked for a fucking job, they always gave me a job. But all of them pissed me off, or some other promoter pissed me off, I could always pick up the phone and call Ron and say, hey, man, I want to come in. And he'll say, when you want to start, Brickhouse, I swear to God, never turned me down. Because they knew I was going to draw money for them, and they knew that I was going to put on a fucking show. And I thought about it. I said, man, I can't do Robert like that. all the fucking pussy in the world that I'm getting and the fuck his bitch. I said, Sylvia, I said, no, you ain't got to worry about it. That's between you and Peaches and Robert. You ain't got to worry about me saying a motherfucking thing. And no, you ain't got to take care of me for me to keep my mouth closed. And she said, God bless you, Brickhouse. Thank you. She said, because I would. I'd take care of you. She said, be glad to do it. She said, fuck, shit, I think you're hot. And, for a minute there, I thought about it for a second. She almost got me to where I said, fuck that, come on, But the bottom line is, to be honest with you, the real reason why, because, I'm a sucker for a fine piece of ass. The real reason why is because I just didn't want to follow that big 6'6", 240-pound motherfucking black Mandingo warrior that was up in them guts before me just did. So that's the only reason why I turned it down. Because I didn't want to follow Peaches, man. But Let Me would have been first, and hell yeah, I would have hit it. But that's beside the point, man. But that's my take on Sylvia. Oh, by the way, yeah, I did catch her a few other times with fucking Brian Lee. Brian Lee was hitting that motherfucking pussy, tearing it up, and so was Wendell fucking Cooley. And these are all guys that Robert and Ron had gave work to, that had brought them into the territories, put them on top, and let them make fucking money. Wendell Cooley made fucking money in the continental area for a while. He was hot down there, but he was fucking Robert's woman. Brian Lee was hot down there. I'm the only motherfucker I can say that didn't fucking take advantage of the fact, and I thank them for working, because I don't reward, people helping me with that type of bullshit. I'm loyal to the end. That's just my thing, and that's the reason I didn't fuck Sylvia in the first place. That, and I didn't want to follow that big black motherfucker that had her before me. So there you have it. Sylvia was fucking goddamn. Everybody else was hitting that motherfucker that had worked with Robert them, and I'm the only idiot that said no. And I heard the pussy was spectacular. So, that's my take on Sylvia. Anybody else?
You can wrap up this week.
Okay. Well, I got some more dish for you, some more dirt coming out in 2 weeks right here on Brick TV. You better tune in, and you better holler at your next wrestling fan and tell them what they missing if they ain't checked it out yet, because I'm going to tell you right now, everything that I tell you is the truth, and God knows it's the truth. I'm just like the mailman. When I tell you something, I'm going to deliver the fucking truth. And I said it, and just what I said before. You can bank on it right here. That's highspot.tv. Check out the Brickhouse TV. Bye. Peace. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, pimps and hoes, of course. This is the happening thing on the internet right now. Highspot.tv presents to you Brickhouse TV. Yes, I'm yours truly, Brickhouse. And today's topic, we're going to cover what? The Brickhouse, what now? Wellness? Policy. Okay. Whatever that means, they got to break it down in terms down for us right now, even though my degree is in communicating. What does that entail now? What does that mean? The drug testing that is going on?
Drug test and deal with suspensions. People violate that policy.
Well, of course, now there's still people doing drugs in the WWE, but of course, you have to pick and choose. You're not going to take your major money makers and say, "Oh, bad boy, you're doing drugs. I'm going to fucking suspend you." Everybody knows Randy Orton, does drugs. But the thing about it is Vince going to cut him off the TV? Is he going to be subjected to, the rules? Hell no, because he's a money major player. He's not going to be suspended in your eye. So they have to pick and choose and do some shuffling around. Now, when he failed one test, his punishment was he wasn't going to do any more TVs for, I think, 30 days. Big fucking deal. No more TVs. That would have been like, oh, please punish me. Don't have me doing the TVs. I couldn't stand not doing any motherfucking TVs. Let me sit home on Monday night and still make my motherfucking money by not doing no fucking TVs. Please punish me that way, Vince. Please. Shit. Give me a break, man. But the bottom line is, it just goes back to show you. Now, the lesser ones like Jeff and some of the underknown names like on the B team, they're going to get punished. Hold on just a bit. We have another interruption here. Hello.
Hello, dog.
What's up to Reggie B? Ladies and gentlemen, this is my manager, my ex-manager, my soul compadre, Mr. Reggie B. Fine. Reggie B. Reggie B.
Yeah, what's up, dog?
I'm right now in Charlotte, man, doing this damn shoot interview, man, on Highspots.tv. And you on live now with the people, brother. I just got through talking to Ice, man, and we sitting up here talking now about some of the bitches that we done seen in the business and some things going on right now. And I done covered some stuff, you know. I talked about Miss Jackie just a little bit, but I ain't want to bear her too much, though, Reggie. You know what I'm saying right now, you know. Trying to look out for the lookout there. But what's some of the stuff, man, that you can tell us about what happened that I might not be able to tell on some stuff, man?
Like what, man? Like, this is no holds barred. You can say anything you want to say, right?
Yes, it's no hold barred on Brickhouse TV, it is. The rest of these jokers doing shoot interviews be pussyfooting around, man, and lollygagging. But I'm going to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help me. But y'all got a question for Reggie y'all might want to know. Reggie.
I'm trying to remember what you talking about. Some shit happened, what, 15, 20 years ago or what?
Hey, hold on just a minute, man. I'm going to ask them, do they have any questions? Because if anybody knows some shit that's going to be current and that's going to be years ago, you the motherfucker that know it because you had your nose in so much shit. You heard every damn thing from Jerry Lawler to Jeff Jarrett to every damn thing.
Man.
So I'm going to ask these guys, do they have any questions for you, Reggie? And let's see if they got a question for you. I got a question for Reggie.
Does he have the same opinion of Jerry Lawler that you do?
He want to know, do you have the same opinion of Jerry Lawler as I do?
Yeah, man, motherfuck Jerry Lawler, man. Jerry Lawler's a high-powered coward, man.
A high-powered coward.
Sometimes he'll come through for you, but, you know, it's all just a shoot. You know, everybody know the truth. So I'm going to get up there one day with you, man. I wish I'd known you were going up there, man. I could have been sitting right there beside you. We would have been talking more shit than the Japanese radio, man.
Now,
we would have been on their fucking ass.
Now, Reggie, I understand what you're saying about Lawler, because, you know, one thing about me, I've always had a love-hate relationship. They love to have me on their motherfucking shows, but they hate to fucking pay me. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Well, you know, all the time, he got to have one house nigga with him at all times. You know what I'm saying? Somebody got to be around. See, Court Mack in his house nigga now, see?
Yeah.
I heard they don't fell out, so I don't know what the deal is with Lawler. Man,
wait a minute. You heard Corey Macklin and Jerry Lawler done fell out? Well, it's a business among thieves, so who was stealing from who and got pissed off?
Yeah, one was stealing from the other too much. I guess one motherfucker got caught with $4 extra in his pocket or something. I don't know, man. Hey,
what's the latest scoop, man? Give me some dirt on Jerry Lawler's boy, Brian Christopher.
Oh, man, that's a love-hate relationship, too, man. Brian, one of the coolest motherfuckers you ever want to meet, man. But he just, you know, society got him fucked up, man. That dope gang, a motherfucker, man. I done served all these bitches over the years.
I know you have, Reggie. But now, is it true what they say about Brian Christopher?
You know what I'm saying?
Is it true what they say about Brian Christopher, man, that he lost the house, he lost his wife, and now he's staying with his grandma?
That's what I heard. That's the truth. That's coming from the horse's ass now. It ain't come straight from the horse's mouth. That come from the motherfucker talking shit. So, you know, if I'm going to tell you something, 9 out of 10 in the hole in the donut, you can take it to the bank. So I know 9 are going to 10 and definitely a hole in the donut. So I heard motherfuckers say it there, but I haven't been around Brian this year. I heard a lot of
one time, man, I was talking to
thing.
Brian one time. Brian Christopher told me, said, Brickhouse, man, at one time I was up in the WWE and I was soaring with the fucking Eagles. And he said, now I'm back down here in Memphis scratching on the ground with the fucking chickens.
You can relate when motherfuckers tell you something straight out of their mouth. You know what I'm saying? But when you get it from the horse's ass, it's going to stink every time. But I done heard that motherfucker say plenty of time, man, I done went to WWF, man, I done fell asleep in the motherfucking lobby, and motherfucker had to wake me up, and I done showed up late for shows, and, you know, because I was too fucked up to get up and do this and do that, you know?
You remember that time?
They want you to know.
You remember that time his own daddy set him up, man, and me and you wanted to team with him, and Brian said he didn't want to team with no niggas?
Well, let me see. When was that? You know what? He probably did say that. Cause
you know what? And then when
And when the case came, and Jerry Lawler put him on the three-way, and he didn't know we was on there. We did that from the pawn shop, and put him on the three.
So.
Yeah, he didn't know we was on there, and you couldn't wait.
I beg you remember that.
Yeah, you couldn't wait to get to Monday night to get to that motherfucker so you can ask him about the knickknacks. That was his short word for nigga.
I beg you remember saying some shit. And see, I was probably fucked up back then. I was smoking like a motherfucker then myself. I can't remember a lot of bullshit was going on myself, you know what I'm saying? I know one thing about this wrestling business, it ain't fair.
It ain't
if you
fair.
ain't white, you ain't right, motherfucker. When you black, nigga, like you said, like Iceman King Parson said long time ago, nigga, you can't be too good and you can't be too bad. But they gonna get rid of your ass one way or another.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do remember, Reggie.
Over in Louisville, fucking riding around it. It was 2000. Let's see, it was 1995, I want to say, and we riding around in a motherfucking 1996 Dynasty. Motherfucker hadn't even hit the showroom floor yet. We riding around in a brand new motherfucking Dynasty.
Right.
Them white motherfuckers didn't like that shit though, did they? Jeff Jerry and them motherfuckers, police pulled us over. It's a 2 or 3 cars in front of us speeding like a motherfucker, but they pulled us over.
I remember that.
Passed right by us. You remember that?
I remember that. I remember some of the things that you remember, Reggie. I can't believe, man, you remember that. You know, give me some juice. Give me some juice on some bitches, man. Tell me something about some bitches. We want to know about some bitches, man. I just did a tribute to the first ladies of wrestling, Missy Hyatt, Baby Doll, Dark Journey. I told some dirt on all them motherfuckers, man. Give me some dirt on a bitch.
On the bitch I really was around a little bit was Miss Texas. You know, she don't fuck with no niggas, so I can't really say nothing bad about her because the bitch never did just be around niggas, you know. I know one time I used to fuck with her. I tried to fuck her. She wouldn't give me no pussy. She told me, she said, "Red be fine. You better leave me alone. I'm going to cut that law on you." I said, "You country ass."
She country is fucking turnip greens, ain't she? She country is turnip greens, boy. But you look at that motherfucker, she got $1 million body, though.
I remember country the brown egg, but she's sweet as a motherfucker, though. Her and Sweet Georgia Brown. I can remember some shit about Sweet Georgia Brown when she first got in the business.
Hold up now. Don't talk about my sister now.
Well, hey, man, you know, I call her like I see her. I know that's your sister. She fine as a motherfucker, but shit, I try to run up in her, nigga. I try to run into her like I-40, run into I-240.
Well, I tell you what, Reggie B, I'm going to let you go on that one, though. You know what I'm saying? But you're right, though. This is Brickhouse TV, and anything goes, whether it's my sister, me. You know, I told him once, man, I missed the show in Houston because the girl, I was doing so much damn coke, and the girl was sucking my dick so good. I said, fuck Houston, man.
Oh, yeah.
And Bill Watts found me $500 the next day.
You remember that time we went to, we was coming from Dallas. That when Snowman was hot in Memphis. We went to Memphis to do that show with Holtman back in Dallas that Friday. You know, turn right back around, go down there and make $50 motherfucking dollars and come back to Memphis and make $500. Man, told Jerry, man, fuck you, man. Ain't nobody finna go do all that motherfucking drive. But nigga had to do what he had to do back then. But like I said, I don't want to spill the beans too much, though, Bricks. Because you know you my nigga if you don't get no big. I love you like a stepbrother. But you know one thing for a fact. Motherfucking wrestling gang ain't right, man. You just wait. I want y'all people to know, because Reggie B gonna come out with a shoot interview. And when I do mine, every motherfucker in the world gonna be underwater. You think Seiko, what his name is, baseball player?
Who?
What's that motherfucker name?
Jose Canseco?
Canseco?
Yeah.
You think that motherfucker spilled the beans? Nigga, I'm gonna have so many motherfuckers mad at me and I don't give a fuck. These motherfuckers run up on me if they want to, I'm gonna blow their ass. They're gonna be like Swiss cheese. Like my nigga Mad Dog said. You know, Mad Dog is one of the original blues brothers.
Yeah.
Remember? Yeah, he said, one of them motherfucking hunters run up on him, or niggas run up on him, you know what he gonna do? He gonna take that pocket knife out and start operating on motherfuckers right there on the spot.
Well, all right then, Reggie. I appreciate you, my brother. I love you, man, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, brother. I love you too, man. You take care of it. You tell them people up there in Highspots, man, deal with Reggie B too, man, because I got some shit for their motherfucking ass.
Okay.
You watch what I tell you.
Okay, my brother.
All right.
Bye. Peace out.
Cool. Peace.
All right, y'all, and that was from Reggie B. Fine. I got Reggie B in the business. Reggie B used to walk around downtown in Memphis, and he would hang out in the places where I was hanging out at BB King's and the Cliff Club and different places like that. And Harold Harris was our manager at the time, and when Harold Harris went to jail, me and Iceman needed a manager, so Reggie had been driving us around for all that time, and, you know,
we would go into clubs and stuff, and I would give Reggie $50 or $60 to have on his pocket, just so he'd have money on him to hit on all the bitches. And he used to talk just like he talking now, and he used to dress the part. He was a real true bona fide pimp. And I told Reggie, I said, you want to be in this business? I said, I can make you my manager right now. And on time, I was on top, working as a heel on top. So I had the juice to have my way. If I brought anybody down to the TV station and said I wanted them on, at that point in time, they were put on. And I brought Reggie down, and I gave him the name, Reggie B. Fine. I said, because you think you're fine any motherfucking way. I said, your deal is you're going to be, I'm Reggie B. Fine, I'm one of a kind, and I want all the ladies to know I shock your mind. And you say that every weekend you're going to get over. And lo and behold, he did. And Reggie was tall and skinny when he first started out managing us. But then when I left to go back to Florida to start working for Eddie Graham in Florida, Reggie called me up and said, man, Jerry told me he don't want to be manager no more. I got too big, and I'm bigger than the wrestlers that I'm managing. I said, Reggie B, you done ate yourself out of a gravy motherfucking job. Reggie was supposed to be the original pimp to go to the WWE. Remember The Godfather? That role was thought of for Reggie B. See, a lot of the things they thought of in Tennessee, then they took it to the big show, the WWE show. And the pimp gimmick was thought of for Reggie B. The only problem was Reggie B couldn't work as well as Charles, so they gave the job to Charles. But Reggie B was the original pimp. Reggie B was wearing that big fucking fur coat and hat way before The Godfather ever thought about it. You know, back in I guess 85, 86, when The Godfather was some guy that he came through as a gimmick in Tennessee at that point in time. But the thing about it is, Reggie was the original pimp, and that should have been his spot in WWE as The Godfather. But too bad I never did train him, so he only came into wrestling as a manager. That's why Reggie B can't work today. But anyway.
You started off by talking about the wellness policy. Maybe you share with us what the wellness policy was back in your time and how you kept control of guys from abusing.
Well, the only thing is, I mean, when it got out of hand, promoters would call the individual in and talk to them. Like Jarrett called me and Robert Fuller in one day, because me and Robert Fuller was notorious for riding to the shows together. And we would always be late because we'd be snorting cocaine on the way. And basically, what would happen is we would be late for the shows because we were so paranoid, we thought everybody was following us on the motherfucking highway, not realizing we was on the highway and that people follow you on the motherfucking highway. So we'd pull over when we saw a car following us for like 5 or 6 miles. God damn, that car been following us for 5 or 6 miles. Well, we're on the motherfucking highway. It was the fucking drugs, but paranoia set in. We pull over a little bit and let that car pass us, and I be damn, guess what? We get back on the highway and another fucking car would be following. But that's what the drug was doing. And so Jerry called us in one day. He said, you guys are my top people right now. Spit in that cup as he was talking. I don't know what you're doing. Don't want to know what you're doing. But I just don't want my 2 top guys going to the police station and me having to come down there and pay a lot of damn money to get you out. So whatever you're doing, I suggest you stop. And if you don't stop, I'm going to make some changes. And that was the extent of what we had. So me and Robert tried to combat the deal. We said, okay, we're not going to do any motherfucking coke going down the road. We're going to make the shows on time, and we're going to put... And I had the bright idea of putting the coke in the trunk. I said, excuse me, I said, Robert, if we put the coke in the trunk, that means it's not in the car with us, and we don't have to be tempted to fucking do it while we're going down the road. It's a good idea, Brickhouse. Goddamn, boy, you is good for something, right? And that's how Robert talked, right? So I put the shit in the trunk, and we're riding down the fucking road, and neither one of us saying not too much because we're not very happy with each other right now. We're irritable, and everything's pretty fucking boring, you know, because we're straight and sober, and we realizing with each other, say, God damn, that Robert's a long, lanky, tall, lanky motherfucker. I never realized that before. And I'd be fucking steady looking over, and I guess he'd say, that Brickhouse is a short black motherfucker. I never realized it before. And we'd be fucking driving down the street, right? So I get the bride, I say, damn, Robert. I said, shit, we need something. I said, let's just pull over right quick and let me get it, and we take a bump and then put it back in the trunk and then go on. God damn it, Brickhouse, good idea. And get that, pull over, get in that trunk, come back to the car, go back to the trunk to take off again. What a fucking horrible deal. We were even more motherfucking late because we were too busy pulling over on the side of the motherfucking road, going to the fucking trunk, getting the fucking shit out, then going back over, pulling over again, going back to the fucking trunk. So that was a horrible idea. We'd have been better off keeping it in the car because besides being 30 minutes late for the show, we started being an hour late from the fucking shows because we had to pull over and get out from the damn trunk. So that was a bad fucking idea. But that was the extent of the wellness program back then. Promoters would only come to you and talk. There was no rehab. There was no, deal about drug testing where to see if you're clean and suspend you for 30 days. None of that. Because George Wells, Master G, was the first guy, first wrestler, first guy, individual, first person that I've known to smoke crack, And I couldn't understand why George Wells would get paid off on a Wednesday and then Thursday be fucking broke. I'm just riding in the car and I just couldn't understand why we got paid on Wednesday and then Thursday he was borrowing money from me. And I just couldn't figure it out. And one night I go to his hotel room and him and this girl, they're sitting up and I see these glass pipes on the motherfucking table and this big ball of motherfucking cocaine. He said, want to do some coke, man? I said, sure, where the line's at? I mean, was the snorting thing for me, the powder deal, I said, sure, where the line's at? He said, no, you smoke this. I said, smoke it? I said, bullshit, I said, you don't smoke no motherfucker, you smoke weed, So we had a big argument over fucking, how you do the drugs and what you do drugs with. So we spent like about 2 hours arguing back and forth that you don't smoke this and you doing it fucking wrong. And I'm talking to a pro-doper now. And this is from a health nut that told Ric Flair, you're a disappointment to people. You're the world heavyweight champion and you're smoking marijuana. This is from the same guy that told Ric Flair that I'm telling George Wells how to smoke crack and never touched the shit in my life. But he was the first guy that I know, not just a wrestler, but the first guy I know ever to smoke crack, and he would be broke. And we're talking about a guy back then that was making $1,800 a week, every week. He was coming. That was his deal. He would make no less than $1,800, and he would get paid on the Wednesday and be broke on Thursday. I swear to God, be broke. Asked me to borrow $200. And I just could never understand it because back then crack wasn't prevalent as it is now, and he was the first guy I knew to do that. And that was his downfall in wrestling. Master G, George Wells, had all the talent to make it big in the business, but he fell to that dreaded glass dick. Sucking on that glass dick had made many guys fall down, and George Wells was one of them. And I hate that to this day, but I can honestly say one thing. That's one drug that I've never really too much dealt with, because, but what they say, crack is whack, but, hell, cocaine is cocaine. If you did one is lesser than the evil. All of it is dope. So it don't make no matter how you clean it. I talk about other people on the Brickhouse TV, but I don't spare myself either. So dope is dope, and you're dope when you do fucking dope. And the bottom line is, I thank God because I always maintained my body. I always maintained my work ethics. I always went in the ring and gave it a good show. And the charisma that you see right now, you've never seen me incoherent. You've never seen me not be able to perform. And that's one thing I can honestly say. I never let the dope take over me. But I let them bitches, but I didn't let the dope do it. But the bitches, oh yeah, I'm a fine sucker for a piece of ass. What can I say? So that's how the wellness program was. Now, I once seen Adrian Adonis, when I was in the WWE, just shit all over the hotel room. Just lose his bowels uncontrollably and just shit like a newborn baby all over the hotel room. Couldn't control it because we had did so much fucking cocaine and it was cut with baby laxative. And he just lost it. His bowels just completely just shitted all over the fucking. We looking at this grown ass motherfucking man running around. Guys, I can't stop. I can't stop. Well, what the fuck do you expect us to do? Get up and stop fucking snorting to come and wipe your fucking ass? Come on, damn, God bless the dead. But I guess, just think about it. We're sitting up, me, him, Junkyard Dog, Tony Atlas, fucking Paul Orndorff, we're all sitting up in the hotel fucking room. He fucking does a big fucking line, and all of a sudden he got, guys, like, we're supposed to be able to, like, we're Pepto-Bismol or something fucking about it. We can automatically just make him stop shitting. He jumps up, man, and all of a sudden pulls off his shorts as if we wanted a better fucking view and starts running around the motherfucking hotel room naked, shitting as he goes, leaving a trail of fucking shit. I tell you, this is a true fucking story. I'm telling you right now, leaving a trail of fucking... Guys, I can't stop. I can't stop. I swear to God, when a guy is looking at you, running around shitting in the hotel room, what would be the first thing comes to your mind? Does he want me to get up and try to wipe his ass or what? I mean, what the fuck were we supposed to do? All we did was just finish doing our lines of coke and looking at this motherfucker entertain us. And that's what we did. And when we finally finished, we left out the hotel room, and needless to say, we got kicked out of that hotel. It was the Waldorf Astoria. I'll never forget it. And Bill Watts lost the contract for the boys to wrestle. Live in the Waldorf Astoria when we went into Oklahoma City. You know. And that's because the wrestlers ruined the fucking room. The maids refused to clean it up because there was shit all over the fucking place. You know. Now, the thing is, if you want to know real truth about it, I think drugs now are more prevalent during today's society of wrestling than it was back in my day of wrestling. I think the drugs now are more prevalent because back then, you know, the guys had the steroids, we had the cocaine, but to be honest with you, it was never nothing that was done over in abundance. I mean, if you look back at the guys, you didn't see those skinny, anorexic motherfucking guys wrestling. You seen guys that even if they were big and fat and blosters, they still fucking was in shape to go in there and fucking wrestle. But now, I mean, you look at a guy now, if they have to get off the cycle of steroids, they shrink up into fucking nothing, you know. My God, since Shawn Michaels got off the fucking juice, I mean, Shawn Michaels can compete in the motherfucking cruiserweight. I mean, let's be honest. He could compete fucking in the cruiserweight division. But because he's Shawn Michaels and because of the fact that that would be a demotion to him, he's not going to do that. So they still have to bump and fly for that motherfucker as if he was 250 pounds. And he's barely 200 now. But he's still a super fucking worker. So I guess that's all what counts in the end. You know, but that's just what it comes to now with the drug scene. You have your steroids, you have your natural growth hormone, you have the stuff Mark McGrath was using. I mean, you got so much shit out there now. You got the ratchet pills now, the ecstasy. I mean, back then it was Valiums and fucking Halcyons. And Valiums and Halcyons. If you had some Valiums and Halcyons, which is tranquilizers, that's all you needed. And some beer and some coke and some weed, done deal. Now you got so much shit now. They got the acid deal. You got so much shit now that you can do that could fuck you up. Nobody back then knew anything about no fucking meth. Now, shit, a wrestler need to make 2 or 3 shots. Hey, you can do it now. Just take your hit of meth, which back then was called crank. But now, you know, it's methamphetamine. And it's man-made shit, and they smoking, and you can be up 2 or 3 days and keep going, you know. I don't want a fucking drug to keep me up 2 or 3 days. I want to catch me a buzz, get a piece of pussy, whack some ass, and then go to fucking sleep. You know what I'm saying? That's the way that it was for me. Get high, beat up some pussy, and go to fucking sleep and get up and make my shot the next day. Bada bing. Now, but that's as close as to get to my wellness program as I can fucking get. You know, back then there wasn't no drug testing, and that's what it was. Promoter thought you was doing too much drugs. He called you in and talked to you, and that was it. You went to jail, they came and got you out. You know, that's the bottom line. Now, do you want to know who I think? I mean, far as drugs are concerned, I mean, you have so many people that have reputations of being drug heads. I mean, you know, do we know if Mr. Perfect truly, you know, what was the cause of his death, drug overdose or whatever? Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, they say, took too many somas and went to sleep and never woke up. What's the guy name that was like the ghost, from Portland? Beetlejuice.
Art Barr.
Art Barr. Same thing with him. I mean, you can honestly say, if drugs were prevalent in the business, that the majority of wrestlers have died from drugs. I would say that, wouldn't you? I've died from drugs. Because it's a rule and grind to be on the fucking road every damn night, and regardless if the shit is set up or not, you still have to be an athlete to do it. You still have to jump off the top rope and take his chair shots. I got a fucking tumor on the back of my neck right now today that I'm hoping that won't progress any further up my fucking head. I'm taking too many chair shots to the fucking head. But that's beside the point. That's why Stone Cold won't wrestle now, because he got the same fucking tumor in his neck. And if he get a fall wrong or take a wrong bump, he's paralyzed for life. So, hey, he take his millions and run. Me, I just got my retirement to look forward to. But that's about the drug scene. It's not a pretty scene on it. I make jokes about it because that's the only time that I've ever done drugs is basically with the wrestlers and when I'm on the road and when we got a bunch of bitches that we getting ready to fuck. Other than that, I have no time for it. I don't glorify drug use. Let me make that perfectly clear. I just want y'all to know that you don't maintain yourself and be in shape like this by being a constant drug user. I did my share of drugs, yes. If I'm going to tell on other people, I have to tell the truth about myself. I did more than my share of fucking drugs. As a matter of fact, like I said before, Reggie B will tell you right now, on nights when we didn't feel like fucking wrestling, we sold drugs to the wrestlers and made motherfucking money. I left Portland, Oregon with about $30,000, most of it from drugs that I sold to the boys. The boys were my best customers. I had not to sell to anybody else outside of the wrestling business. I made enough money from wrestling in world class, but just being greedy, I sold to the Von Erichs. And God bless me, I'm not proud of it, but I used to make $400 a night off of Kerry Von Erich alone. $400 a night. And that is no exaggeration. That is the God honest truth. $400 a night I used to make off of Kerry Von Erich. And that's just one Von Erich, Kevin was good for about $300. Chris was good for about $200. Mike was good for about $200. Can you imagine the money I made off the Von Erich clan a night? Go figure. But that wraps it up on this edition of Brickhouse TV. Tune in about 2 weeks when I'm going to come with some more juicy shit and some more tidbits. And pretty soon, you'll be able to call in and chit-chat with me. Just keep tuning in on highspot.tv to Brickhouse TV. And you're going to like what you see. I guarantee you. Peace out.
Don't give up. Fight forever. Don't give up. Fight forever. Don't give up. Fight forever. Fight forever and ever and ever and ever.